you. Today we're here to show you makeup basics. Woo!
So foundation, I just put it on my face.
Yes, put it on.
There's probably a better way to do it, but yeah. And then you just dab it in. Do not swipe it because then you get weird lines. And make sure you blend it all over your ears and your neck.
And you can also use a brush to blend it. You don't have to use a beauty blender. You can use a brush or you can use powder foundation, whatever fits your skin better.
Yes. Also, I like to use a foundation that's like a little bit darker than my skin. Like, you don't want to be orange, but I prefer using one that's like a little bit darker just for stage reasons so I don't look washed out.
Yes, important.
And you just blend it all the way down your neck. Dab, 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 dab. And you're good. Next is concealer. Mine's really light because it's my winter shade, but I just do like a little triangle under my eyes here because zits. And then just a little bit in between my eyebrows. So you just want to basically like highlight the high points of your face. And this will just like brighten everything up a little bit. And you just want to blend that really well. And then I just go over with the part I did my foundation, the part of the beauty blender I did my foundation with, just to like blend it in a little better. Boom. Next I use like a blotting powder just to like make everything matte so it's not super shiny, and that way when you're sweating on stage it's just not extremely apparent that that's what's happening, because we make it look easy. There we go. And there's that. And you want to contour. This is kind of an iffy step. So you want to make it dark enough so that like you can see it on stage. And it also helps you not look as washed out. It darkens up your face a little bit. But you want to make sure it's not too muddy. And that way it doesn't look too aggressive on stage. You just want to highlight your cheekbones with this. And then tops of your forehead, especially because we are doing braids. You want to eliminate your forehead. And then I just contour my nose just a little bit. And then you just blend it in all the way into your hairline so you can't tell where it starts and where it stops.
Nice.
And then probably one of the most important steps is blush. You want to make sure like you can see it, but it's not too pink where you look like a Barbie. We want a little Barbie, but not too much. I also like to put it on my nose a little bit, just because, you know, TikTok trends.
Or are you an e-girl?
Yeah, and just make sure you blend it in with your contour so you don't get a harsh line. There you go. Your last step, really, for the face makeup is highlight. This is, like, the fun part, because you want it to, like, shine in the lights when you move your face. But a tip is glitter eyeshadow, you don't use it for highlight because it doesn't look as good. I'm using a cream kind of highlight, but you can use powder too if you want. This just
is what we had.
this is what we have on hand. And then make sure that gets blended in with your blush and your contour as well. A little bit on your nose.
And we are glam. Yay!
Okay, now that I have my glasses off and I'm blind, we're gonna do some eyebrows. So this brow pencil has like two ends to it. It has the actual brow like product, and it has this spoolie to blend it out. And this one kind of has like a triangle shape. You can use whatever kind you want, whatever works best for you. But I like to start at the very base of my brow and kind of make a line underneath it, just like that, and make it super light so you can still see it, but it's not like a Sharpie. And you can go from there, and I'm lucky because I have very full brows, but you can kind of fill in any areas where it's sparse, like using very light pressure. And the key there is very light pressure. And if you go too hard or it looks too dark, that's when you can use this handy dandy spoolie and blend it out. Yay. And then for the front, my tip is to use, again, very light strokes, following the direction of the hair. that it grows. So for these ones in front, I'm going to flick upwards because they're growing upwards like this. And then for the ones towards the outer end where they're growing in a separate direction, I'm going to move the eyebrow pencil in that direction so it looks more natural. And why we fill in our brows and stroke wire is because they really help your facial expressions stand out. So when you're doing like, or they look really good. Okay, we're just going to do the other one really quick.
Insert fun music here.
Yeah, fill in the blank spots. Blend it out if you go too dark. Go in the direction of the hair. Blend it out if you go too dark again. And making them even is tricky, especially if you have super light or sparse brows. Just kind of play around with it, making sure that you can go back and forth between each brow and kind of even it out as you go. And then shortly, after you blend it all out and make sure all the hairs are going in the right direction and they don't look all wonky, you got eyebrows on your face. Okay, so this is the trickiest part of any makeup look, I think, which is the winged eyeliner. So I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks that I've used throughout 5 years of wearing winged eyeliner almost every day. So what I do is I start at the base, like the very corner of my eye, and I start with the wing itself. So there it is. I just kind of make it a slight angle. I kind of follow my bottom lash line and you move that angle with it. And then I'm going to go on top of my eyelid and make a thin line across the lid. Okay, so now we have a thin, even line across the top of our eyelid. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the tip of this wing and connect it to our eyelid. So I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way to the tip of the wing and connect it to my eyelid. So it's not very even right now, but we can fix it later, don't worry. So now I'm going to fill in that gap and then kind of smooth out where it connects from the wing to my eyelid. Like that, and then keep filling in that blank space until it is full of eyeliner. And then you should have something that looks like this.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, now it's time for fake eyelashes. Today I'm using these. This is the Ardell brand. They're very good. I suggest them, which is why I put them on my list. So the first step is to curl your eyelashes so that you can kind of see the general shape that the lashes will follow. So that's what I'm going to start off by doing, is just curling my lashes very lightly. So then we have that step done. Now we're going to take our lashes out of the box. Do you have scissors to trim them? Okay, we're just going to wing it. A helpful step is if they're too long for your eye is to trim them, like trim off. So you can see these ones. I'll put them up here.
Oh, my finger.
So these ones have a shorter end and a bigger end. So you want to trim the bigger end when you're trimming them if they don't fit your eye, just because this smaller end right here will go in the inner corner so it doesn't irritate it as much. So if you need to trim them, just put them up to your eye, size them out, and then if they don't fit, just trim off the end with the longer lashes. So that's the tip for that.
But we were not prepared.
We were definitely not prepared. So I'm going to take these tweezers and I'm just kind of kind of line them up to my eye to see where about I want to put them. And luckily these look like they fit pretty well. So my tip for glue is to get a brush-on glue, just because it goes on a little bit easier, it's easier to control, and you don't get as much on the lash so that it's not painful when you rip it off. So you're just going to brush it a very thin amount. You want to be able to see it on the lash, but you don't want to like coat it on there, if you're catching my vibes. So you just want to put it on there, make sure it's doused in glue, but not doused in glue. I'm using all the wrong adjectives. Want to put glue on it, not too much, not too little. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. Now we're going to wait for it to dry a little bit so it gets tacky. And then I curled the wrong eyelash, so that's cool. We're just going to put it on the other eye, I guess. So you want to put it in your tweezers. And I like to line up the inner corner first. And then go to the outer corner and push the outer corner on. And then go to the center and push the center on. And then after they're placed, I like to use my fingers and kind of pinch them onto your lash line. And don't let your inner corners come up. That is no bueno. And just kind of pinch at your lash line. And then you should have eyelashes.
Woo!
Okay, missed a step. So after you have your lashes on, you're going to use mascara to blend your fake lashes with your real lashes. Just use a very light coat and make sure that's all blended. Put it on the bottom, do that mascara face, and you're good to go.
This is like the most important step of our makeup look. I use this like
I can't find it. There it is.
creamish color just as like a base. Just to like, if you have any like concealer or foundation that's still a little sticky. That way everything blends evenly. And then I use this like light brown right here as a transition shade, which we will put, tap it off. We will put all like the makeup names in a list, and we will put that on here too. There's a lot of fallout on this, I'm not gonna. But just make sure you blend that really well through your crease and blend it up a little bit so that when you get to the darker colors, everything will blend just a lot easier for you.
You can see the fallout.
I know it's Alright, after that, there is, I don't know why I'm holding it this way. There's a darker brown down here. You're just gonna blend. Hello? You're going to blend into the outer V of your eyelid and the deeper part of your crease. And then you're just going to want to blend that up into the lighter brown shade that we used as a transition. And if it gets on your eyelid, that's okay, because we're going to use concealer to clean that up. Concealer cleans up all your messes. And so you're just going to do the same with the other eye. Just blend it through. Get on the outer V of your eyelid. Just blend it really well. And if it is like a little harsh and doesn't blend all the way through, you can go back to this lighter brown shade and just blend it again. Whatever you need to do so that it is blended. And I just do it like a lot. And then that is your smoked out look. And then what I like to do is either like, so I have a flat brush and either like wet it down or spray it with something. This is just easier right now. And so you're gonna wet your brush with whatever you need to do and take this gold. I forgot to apply concealer.
Uh-oh.
Which is okay, you don't need to apply concealer, but I just do it so that the gold is a little more pigmented. And I already put the gold on my brush, so it looks like we're going with the finger. And then just make sure like you blend it into the brown that we applied to our crease and our outer corner, so that way you get like a smoother transition between the two colors. So then, now that I already have this all set up, you're gonna take your wet brush in this gold color right here and just put that where you have your concealer. This has a lot of fallout too. Hello. And you're just going to blend that through. And blend it into the brown as best that you can. We'll go through with more of the brown to blend it together later. And you're just going to do the same on the other eye. And if you have different golds or different browns that you'd like to mix with these to make them more pigmented, that is totally up to you and whatever your preferences are. As long as they are the same color and they look the same as the end result, then we are all good to go. Alright, now that I have all the gold applied, we're going to go through with the darker brown shade one more time just to blend it all together so you don't have any harsh lines. Blend, 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 blend. Alright, there's the eyeshadow look. So, my this look is we have this, not exactly sure what it is, but I will put it down in the list, but it's a green eyeliner. This is the only step of the makeup that is required to buy, just so it all looks the same and we have the same color, because as you can see, it's very pigmented and a little sparkly, so we want it all to be the same. With this, you're just going to put it in your waterline. You might have to run it over a couple times just so it's...
You look like a panda.
Thank you. And then smudge it out a little lower just so you can see it. And then you can blend it out with a brush or your finger or whatever you have. And you're gonna do the same to the other eye. It probably looks really creepy.
Spooky season is over, Josie.
Sorry. So this was really hard to do on this eye. Alright, so then you have the green. You're gonna look real funny before we have the eyeliner and mascara on. But there's that. Okay. Alright, so then our final step in the eye look is this green glitter that I have.
Nice.
I have in this one. This is not mandatory because Fenty Beauty is very expensive, so I'm totally okay if people want to use mine or if they have a similar shade. This is just kind of a greenish kind of glitter, so it ties in the green eyeliner a little better. And I just like to pop it a little bit on the inside corner.
Or you could use like a very muted like version of the green eyeliner.
Yes.
Or just use the green eyeliner and then put some concealer over it, or do whatever you gotta do to put the green in the corner.
Whatever you need. And like I said, I'm totally open to sharing this. Or if you have something similar. And then I just like to smudge it a little bit with my finger so it's not so harsh. And we're done!
Okay.
I just popped some eyelashes on and did my eyeliner, which we have a video that we'll post to on how to do that if you need help. So our next step is lipstick. We have two. I don't know what these are.
They're colors.
They'll be in the list. So first we're going to take the darker shade. You can use lip liner if you want to, but it's a little too much work for me. So just put, oh, hello. The darker shade on first. You can overline if you feel you need to.
If you're like me and don't have a top lip.
But be very careful when you do. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're putting another color over top. Because we have green and orange dresses, this was a little difficult. So then we're going to take a lighter, it's like a pinkish nude, and put that over top. Just so it's a little more neutral, but it'll still be dark enough to show on stage without drowning you out.
And if you didn't want to buy both and you're comfortable with sharing, you can buy one shade and a friend can buy the other shade.
Yes.
Or you can buy both, or you can buy neither and just borrow everyone else's. If you're comfortable with it, you know? You don't have to buy both.
We did get mono last year. Alright, and then I just like to put the darker one just like a little more if it got too light. And then it will dry matte, so.
Yippee! Yay! Well, thanks for coming to our tutorial.
Don't get lipstick on your teeth.
Then you'll look like a loser.